a lot. What's up, everybody? What's happening? Welcome to episode 22, season 2. So many twos. How are you guys doing today? I've had a lovely day. It's Sunday. I knew I was gonna make this video, but I came home and got completely undressed, and so I got halfway back dressed just to make this video. See, I'm wearing sweatpants right now, but that's okay, because that's all that matters, is that I'm making this video for you to see. Today's topic of discussion is prime lenses versus zoom lenses, and why I think personally that prime lenses are better for photography. So let's go over the pros and cons of primes and zooms. Let's start with the zooms, just because I like primes better, so we'll talk about this, save the best for last type situation. First pro of a zoom, obviously, is that you have a range of focal lengths. So you can go from this size and you can zoom all the way in out to there and stuff like that. When I say a range of focal lengths, I mean that you don't just have to stay at, for instance, this is a 55 to 250, which means I can shoot at 55 millimeters, and if I wanted to, I could go in and zoom in to 250 millimeters, and I don't have to move my feet or anything. I can stay in the same spot. So that's the first pro of a zoom lens. Pro number 2 of having a zoom lens. Zoom lenses tend to be a little bit expensive. For that reason though, you buy one that's got a very wide range to a very telephoto range, very zoomed in range. You'll have that lens, you won't need any other lenses, because you have all of those different focal lengths already in one lens. So once you spend whatever that amount is on this lens, you don't have to spend any more money on another lens unless it's got a focal length that isn't included in the lens that you have already. So it can save your wallet in a sense. If you get one like the 24 to 105, you got 24 millimeters, which is pretty wide, good for general photography. And then you got all the way zoomed in to 105, which is good for getting a really long distance. Now let's get into the cons of zoom lenses. First con is the aperture. The aperture on a zoom lens is typically going to be a lot slower. And when I say slower, I mean the number is going to be higher than prime lenses. For instance, the aperture on this zoom lens starts at 4. Since the aperture starts at f4, that means the hole, this is what the aperture is, the hole inside the camera. If you haven't seen basic photography settings, go watch it. It'll explain better what the aperture is, but it's basically a hole inside your camera that can open up really wide to let a lot of light in, or it can close down really small to let not as much light in. But this one starts at f4, which means the hole is somewhere around this size. It doesn't let in as much light as a prime lens will. Remember, the prime lenses typically have lower numbers, which means faster apertures. So this one, for instance, starts at a f1.4. That's a really wide hole, so it lets in a lot of light on your sensor, which is going to give you a shallower depth of field, which is going to give you that background blur that you like so much, that everybody loves. For example, right now, this lens is the kit lens that I'm filming with, and it starts at f3.5, which is what it's on right now. And you can still see behind me, you can see that there's a TV over here, you can see that there's a couch back there and stuff on the wall and stuff like that, because it doesn't go down to the f1.4. And if it did, it would blur everything behind me out of focus. Everything would be blurred back there. That is a con of zoom lenses. They have slower apertures. Downside number 2 of having a zoom lens is, since it has all these different focal lengths that it's got to keep track of and got to give you, is not going to be as sharp typically as a prime lens it will be. Think of it like this. the prime lens is doing the best it can for just one focal length. So this one focal length, this is a 50 millimeter, is going to be as sharp as possible. The zoom lens is trying to give you the sharpest image possible at 55, at 70, 100, 200. It's trying to go through all of these different focal lengths. So zoom lenses tend to not be as sharp as prime lenses because the prime lens is just doing an excellent job at one focal length, whereas the zoom lens is trying to do a good job at a large range of focal lengths. That's the downside, a con of a zoom lens and a pro for the prime lens. So the pro of the prime lenses are they always typically have a super fast aperture, which means they have a really low f-stop number. Another pro of having a prime lens is they are typically cheaper. Prime lenses are typically cheaper because they're only one focal length. So I guess they can't charge you an arm and a leg for just buying one specific focal length, like 50 millimeters or 85 millimeter. You do save money in a sense getting prime lenses. If you can get one and make it do everything that you need to do, then you know, then you only have to spend a less amount than you will on buying a zoom lens. But in the same sense, when I say that, you know, if you can make it do everything that you needed to do, a con of a prime lens is that since it's only that one focal length, if you need to zoom in or zoom out, the only way to do it is to use your feet or your zoom. You have to walk up closer to the subject or back up further away from the subject. That is a con. I think it's a good thing. It makes you get more active. You end up getting a different perspective. If you're walking up and decide you want to move a little bit to the left, then you see, oh, this is a better perspective than what I was. You know, I got better composition over here to the left than I was straight on, stuff like that. So it can get on your nerves sometimes. You're at an event or you're doing a photo shoot like I was last week downtown, and I kept having to back up. If you noticed in the video, go watch the photo shoot downtown. I was really proud of that video. The pictures came out so good, and I love photography. If you don't know, this channel is mostly about photography. Why I was very excited to do that shoot last week, so go watch. Really, that's the only con that I could say about a prime lens. Everything else about prime lenses I love. The prime lens is going to give you a sharper photo, just point blank period. You're going to get a sharper image with a prime lens because it's just doing excellent at one focal length. That is why I prefer primes over zooms. That's all I have for today. Like I said, go watch last week's episode if you haven't already. We're at episode 22. I think we're going to end this at like 25 this season for season 2. I want to have a really big finale episode. I want to do a lot of stuff in that episode. Please hit that like button because it does make a difference. It makes these videos more visible to others. So hit that like button, and the subscribe button is right down there so you can come on this journey with us. New content is always coming, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, what you doing? What you doing? I don't know.